Hi.
Hi.
I'm Dylan,
I'm Zach.
I'm Emily.
I'm Giselle.
and we're doing a podcast on CMM theory, and we're basically just gonna have Emily and Giselle talk about some stories, things that they've gone through life together. Because you've been friends for how many years?
Like 6 or something.
Yeah.
Like 6. So obviously a lot of time to have experiences, have different experiences, and different perspectives on things. So just seeing how well they line up with reality and things like that.
Mm-hmm. And after they tell their stories, we'll go ahead and highlight it with the 4 main claims of CMM, and then kind of dive into the reflective questions that are posed within the theory.
Okay.
All right, go for it.
All right. This is the story about the time that we got in trouble because our friends came to visit over St. Patty's weekend, and wait, what? We all came home from being out with friends. Can I say alcohol? Okay, we all came back from drinking, and we got food, and we went upstairs, and we decided that we were gonna all hang out with Dylan. Can't say that. Oh no. Okay, we decided that we were all gonna hang out upstairs and nap or something, and then me and my friend decided to sleep or to take a nap, and Emily left with our other friend, and I got woken up to her walking in the room and crying because she accidentally went in somebody else's room and urinated in there. Good word. And then so I called Emily up because I was so confused and didn't know what was happening, and she came upstairs. She was just in the floor below, and she realized that there was people outside of our door ready to murder us because that had happened, and neither of us had any idea what was happening. And then this is your part, because I wasn't there for when you talked to him.
Should I do that? Should I just pick up then?
No. Go
Okay.
For it.
So then I come upstairs from the friend's place with my other friend, and there's a fan club outside of my room, and I asked what was going on because they were right outside my room, and the hall director said that they were looking for Marissa, our friend, and I was confused, so I went inside the room, and my other friend stayed out and was talking to the hall director, and I went in, and I was talking, and all I saw is Giselle sitting on the bed, and Marissa bawling her eyes out on the floor, and talked that she peed somewhere in someone's room, and then I was told that I wanted to get talked to by the hall director, so I go outside, and I talk to him, and he just explains to me what happened, that she peed on this girl's chair in a different room, and I'm trying to think. Then everyone was kind of just confused on what was happening, and I went back inside the room. He wanted to talk to her, and she was screaming at everyone and crying and telling us that it was our fault that she peed on this chair. And then everyone left, and we were just talking to Marissa for the rest of the time, and there was chaos in the room.
Yeah, and we don't know why she did this. We still don't know to this day, but
You want to go into her perspective of it versus what your guys witnessed? Because she was pretty offset.
Okay, so we were sleeping together. She was on Emily's bed and I was on my bed, and she said she was alone in our room, and
that wasn't true at all.
I was right there, and I guess she was trying to look for the bathroom and was walking up and down the stairs, which also doesn't make sense because she went to the bathroom multiple times before, and none of the times did we go downstairs to find a bathroom, but whatever. Then I guess she decided to just go back in the room, and decided that was the bathroom. I really don't know. And she said that all she knew, next thing she knew was her waking up and she was peeing.
Yeah.
And then the girl was screaming at her and being like, what are you doing, like, blah blah, and she was like, I don't know, like, my friends left me, and the girl was like, you're fine, like, you're grown, whatever. And then she was like, you have to help me, like, find my friends. And so they, like, found us. She, like, because we have, like, our names written on our, like, board or whatever. And then I really didn't know what would happen. Like, you'd think that they'd all come in and, like, try to talk to me, but it was literally, she just walked in. I didn't know anyone was outside. And I was like, what is, like, happening?
Yeah, there was a bunch of people outside.
Yeah, like,
I
I
was
didn't know that anybody was outside till Emily walked in, and she was like, so there's, like, a whole, like, fan club outside. And I was like, oh, well, yeah, that's,
we don't really know where she was at in that situation.
Yeah.
So you said you know each other for like what, 6, 7, 8
Since
Around
freshman
there.
year
years,
of
whatever.
high school.
How did you guys like first meet?
We had Spanish together freshman year. I don't know, like, I don't really remember talking to her for the first time, but, like, I remember her being closer to my sister, because my sister and I both had that same Spanish class, and she was, like, closer to my sister. And then, like, my sister's, like, 2 years older than us, so, like, once she graduated, like, we still, like, hung out and stuff. Yeah. We, like, still hung out. I think it probably just was, like, you not knowing what was going on, or, like, not fully knowing, and then you being like, wait, do you guys, like, know what's happening?
Yeah,
and
probably.
us being like, yeah, we can help
I
you.
thought they were twins. That was my first impression. I was like, so I don't know which one's which.
Yeah, my first impression was that you, like, didn't have an arm.
Oh, yeah.
What?
I had a huge sling on my arm because I got shoulder surgery right before freshman year started. So I was like the girl with the sling. So that was fun.
And then, like, we found out that we had lunch together.
Oh
and
yeah,
were,
we
like,
had a class together.
Yeah,
like,
because
every year.
at first I was just there with Jocelyn, because, like, I had just moved to, like, the suburbs, and, like, she, like, knew everyone, like, from our high school. And then she was like, you should stay with us. And I was like, okay. And I did. And the rest is history, I guess.
Yeah, honestly, I don't even
Yeah.
know, like, how we first started talking.
I'm assuming it's something like that, like, everyone
Yeah.
being confused about an assignment, and then me and Jocelyn being like, we got you guys.
Because it was, like, Spanish one.
Yeah. Like, we just, like, ended up there for some reason.
I think that that story about like how you guys met, how you both like neither one of you really remember it, that fits this this first claim of CMM, talking about how communication creates our social world. Specifically, this statement that persons in conversation create the primary process of social life, and that these realities are simultaneously constructed and shaped by each other. So this idea that like neither one of you really remember how you met, but you can both agree that it, no matter what story was told, it was fairly similar.
Yeah.
Right.
You know. So that kind of falls within that bracket.
And you guys just kind of like, every time you said something, you were like, oh yeah, that. And then,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because, like, yeah, I really don't know. I'm assuming something like that happened.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah. Because I can't, I don't know.
I
can't
feel like if something significant like happened,
would remember that.
Yeah, I would remember it.
Aside from that you didn't have an arm.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Like it could have been a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like some sort of conversation starter.
Yeah.
Or you know what? I think I just remembered. Because I was friends with Jasmine
Yeah, that's
before,
kinda
and
what
I
I
think she
thought.
might have introduced us. I think she would have been like, "This is my friend Emily." I think I remember that now.
Now Jasmine's not in the picture.
Yeah.
We took off without her.
Yeah.
She said bye.
I mean, that's still like even that though, like that illustrates that
Mhm.
point
Yeah.
of just like, all right, yeah, like that works, you know.
Yeah.
One of the next points, like one of the next main claims, is that the stories we tell differ from the stories we live. So you have this idea of management and coordination. Management is like the story you live versus the story you tell. And naturally, because like humans are natural storytellers, what we live is inherently different than what we talk about, you know.
Kind of fluff it up after.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know.
That's
Especially in situations where like you might not remember all of it, or you
Yeah.
don't know exactly, like you might just have a tendency to fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
You know.
You were like,
Like lie.
you were like,
Well, yeah.
You were like in bed and you were like, oh no, I was alone, and then
Yeah.
Giselle
Yeah,
was
exactly.
in the other one.
Yeah.
And then let's see. So with coordination, is kind of like your story lived versus the other person's story lived. So if you were both in the same situation, you could have two entirely different points of view. So that'd be like you guys versus your friend and that story. You guys lived a very different story
Yeah.
than what she
Yeah.
lived,
Right.
probably. And I mean, I think that covers that point. The next main point, the third point, is this idea that we get what we make, and there are a couple reflective questions underneath that point. How did that get made? What are we making, and what can we do to make a better social world? So I think primarily what this is talking about is just like within that story and within like the realm of your life, like how did that story and that experience get made? And I think it's, especially in this case, it's both with a wild story being lived from all parties, but then also being told, because now it's become entertainment, for receiving parties.
It definitely was not entertainment in the
it was terrifying.
Yeah, exactly. And then you have this idea of what are we making? So I think that just kind of falls in line with that word, natural storytellers. You with this experience, you're just kind of building not only a story for yourself so that you remember it, but a story for other people, because you want to tell other people about it.
And with your friend specifically, she definitely tried to spin it to make her look in the best light possible.
Yeah,
exactly. So I'm sure when she tells the story, it's very different from how you guys.
I hope she doesn't tell the story. I wouldn't.
I wouldn't either.
No.
And then this last question is, what can we do to make a better social world? And I feel like that's a really heavy question for like, especially for like fun stories like this, or like what would now be fun stories. And I think a lot of it